Many find success with running cost caps in the ad account, and here's how to maximize their potential. While no ad account has scaled solely on cost caps, using them strategically can enhance scaling efforts. So let's explore both perspectives, for scaling and for testing. With manual bids, it's important to maintain laser-sharp focus on two key factors. One is spend, two is performance. Your goal is to find a sweet spot between those two. And there's only 4 potential scenarios that could happen, and I'm gonna break down the next step for each a bit later. Let's start with what type of manual bids I use and when. I use cost per results, which is also known as cost caps, and I use it only for scaling. I'm not using it for testing. Cost cap means cost per result. It should average out at the period of your attribution setting. Let's say if it's 7-day click. So if you put $50 cost cap, one day results would be 52, the other 47, the third 42, fourth 57, but the end, it's 7 days, it should average out to 50. So let's start where you need to put your manual bid. I usually start either at 1 ad account average CPA under the assumption that you're hitting your CPA target, or number 2 slightly below, because it's better to start conservative and then increase the bid than lose money with manual bid overspending. So in theory, let's say your AOV is $100. Your ROAS target is 2, which means your CPA target should be 50. If you're currently getting cost per purchase of 70 in the ad account, you cannot expect cost cap to get 50 and expect it to spend your budget fully. Cost cap is not a magic bullet, and it probably won't not spend much. But let's say your ad account average CPA is 45 for that $100 AOV. When you're setting up a manual bid campaign, start with 45. In terms of the budget, I'm comfortable setting an inflated budget with my winning ads, because even if Facebook overspends, it cannot spend that much over my target CPA, because all the ads that are imported into my scaling campaign are already winning ads. But let's first cover what the winning ad is. I don't have a set definition for that. It's not exiting learning phase, it's not statistical significance. It's just a fact whether the ad continues to perform well after I increase the budget on it multiple times during the week. If it sustains good performance, that's a good enough sign to me that I can move it to my Advantage Shopping Plus, which is operating on a high budget, and as I mentioned, it's only running with winning ads that use Post ID. Post ID allows me to carry the social proof all the way from testing campaign. Basically, that way Facebook knows the ad already has a history of good performance and it's not starting from scratch. Users are also more inclined to engage with an ad that has a substantial amount of comments and likes. But why am I using cost caps for scaling? The thing is, during the weekend performance is usually better, because conversion rate is higher, because more people have free time and they're spending that time on their phone, and often they are into buying mode. I want to squeeze as much as possible during those periods, because it's possible for me to assume how good the performance would be on a weekend. Can I increase the budget from 1K to 3K, or from 1K to 5K, or from 1K to 50K? This way, with a high inflated budget and a cost cap at my target CPA, I'm giving Facebook the permission to spend as much as possible when performance is good, which usually it is during the weekend. That's why I call this weekend scaling. Also, I always use click only with manual bids to avoid Facebook over attributing on view sales. So now let's cover the 4 potential scenarios when you're using manual bids. 1. You set it at 45 and it's generating some sale, but it's not spending the budget fully. Let's say it spends only $200 out of 1K. I would gradually increase the bid by $1 until you get to the point that it is spending budget fully while still getting the good results. Number 2. If you're in a scenario where it's not spending a lot, but when it spends, it delivers bad results, basically over your target CPA, your only option is to import new winning ads if you have them. In case you do not have them, probably it's wise to turn off the ads until you get some additional winners. Case number 3. If your budget is spent fully every day, but the results are not great, you should do only 2 things. 1. Decrease the bid. Facebook is obviously overspending and ignoring the bid. Or 2. Decrease the budget, wait for 7 days, and Facebook should average out to that target cost per purchase. But the thing is, sometimes that does not happen, and you don't want to lose money while waiting. So you can do both. Decrease bid, decrease budget, and refresh it with new ads. Scenario number 4, if your budget is fully spent every day and results are good, it means you're in a scaling position. You can increase the budget unless you already started with an inflated budget. Then you don't have to worry about increasing. Now that we covered cost cap for scaling, let's cover them for testing. There are a couple of reasons I don't like it. 1. People who preach cost cap for testing are arguing that you need to spend a lot of money to reach statistical significance of the results in your regular testing campaign. But the other side, they're okay with Facebook spending just a few dollars and determining that's not a good enough indicator. It's just double standards in evaluating results, and makes no sense to me to require two different things just because they are tested in two different ways. There's no way that you should reach statistical significance in regular campaign but not under cost cap. Problem number 2. The approach of determining whether the ad is a winner or not just by the fact that it gets spends, it seems like a lottery to me. It's a black or white approach. There are a lot of ads that initially were not great by observing the metrics, but you can learn something from it. You can iterate. You can get an ad that is a potential winner. If there's no spend, there's no learning, and I want to learn from my test. Imagine launching 5-minute VSL and just discarding it because Facebook did not get spent. In the world where creative is making a difference, I don't want to limit myself just to launching an ad and discard the concept completely just because it did not get spent. Problem number 3 with manual bids. I do not necessarily want my ad to beat my current winning ad. I want my ads to support that winning ad. I would rather have one winning ad and 4 supporting ads instead of that are totally spending 10K with a ROAS of 1.8 instead of just one ad that's spending 5K with a ROAS of 2. It's just simple math. So the fact that I require my new ad to beat my existing winner in cost cap is not something that I need to scale the ad account. Maybe that's why the cost cap gang and I have different approaches when running the ad accounts. Problem number 4. The ad success heavily depends on the outside factors, let's say Black Friday or any long weekend. That's why often you see an ad delivering and crushing one day and barely spending the other day. When you have the new creative, not spending any money, you don't know if it's bad ad or a bad timing of the launch. When you cannot isolate the reason, you cannot make a proper decision. Problem number 5 for testing with cost caps. In order cost caps to work, we assume that Facebook delivers the ad in a perfect environment and that will spend only if it can deliver the results under the target cost cap. But there are so many accounts, so many times that I saw an ad spending but still not delivering the results under the target. So why is this happening? Obviously, cost cap sounds great for testing in theory, but it doesn't always work in a practice. Although we all agree that Facebook is super robust, it has way more data than us. Can it really determine the success of a creative without serving an impression or with serving like just 500 impressions? Honestly, I'm not so sure. That's why I'm not using it for testing. On the other side, I really like to use it for scaling. So if you want me to implement manual bid scaling campaign in your ad account, just book a call below. If you have any additional questions about manual bids, put them in the comments. Until then, like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.